Hooray! We're all excited. How excited are all of us here? Bobby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good as well, Bobby. That felt like energy and a lot of fun. And we have a guest. Hi, Barb.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's a weird time. I mean, we're doing it at like 6, and to be fair, we don't normally get anyone watching, but I'm gonna blame it on it being 6. That's why no one's watching because it's too early. People are having dinner, Bobby. That's why it's dinner time, and people can't eat and watch us. It's too much excitement.
We
Yeah,
might
some of
choke
us
if they
thought
do.
we were doing 7 and we're in the middle of our run.
Well, some of us texted me and said 5, and I said, would 6 be better? And you said, sure, with exclamation points.
Oh well, if we did 7, that'd be nice. I could have done my makeup and not scare people
Well,
with
we
my
could just
fucking
start again
bare
at 7 if
face.
everybody wants to. I'm the only one who was just telling the times I was told. Bobby wanted to do 5. I was like, 5? I don't know if 5's okay. I don't know if you and I are allowed to do it during the light, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm not sure
It's
what
like
the rules are.
vampires.
We are. Well, we're not. We're just shiny bald men, so it can glare off people and be fine. But
Bobby's bald?
No,
no,
not
but
really.
like not really. But
That's
like
Pat's new thing. He says things like, I lurk in the shadows, I'm bald. He
Bald,
makes
stuff
me to
like
look
that.
better in front of our guests.
oh, we can have one of these.
I'm just saying.
We can do this.
No, we could do POS too.
We can. We can all. You can also poke a tiger.
I didn't poke anything.
Speaking of poking a tiger, I'm gonna start my POS story right away. Now, I have a friend who's a comedian, and I don't. You guys both are comedians. I say friend sometimes, and I don't mean always friend, but it's a comedian who I hang out with. But like, if he wasn't a comedian, if we weren't both comics, I probably wouldn't be their friend. You know that kind of person. Like they're a comedy
yeah.
acquaintance, but they're friendlier with you than just some guy on a show, right? So
Other
this
than, like,
one
the
guy,
shared love of comedy, like you guys wouldn't be like
right? But
anything
we've
in
also
person.
hung
Yeah.
out before. So, oh, look at Carlos Danger in the house. What's up, buddy? So this buddy of mine messages me this morning and says, "Are you on radio?" Because I do radio some mornings. I was like, "No." So then he calls me right away. I just woken up. And he then says to me right away, he can tell I'm on speaker. He's on his way to work, and he goes, I know I'm going to have a tough day. I need you to shit on me and call me an asshole and rip me the fuck apart." And I was like, I just woke up. No, thank you. And he's like, come on, man. You know you're great for this. I need this. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. I don't want this. I've always been nice to you. And he goes, yeah, come on. You know you're the kind of asshole that can do this. And he didn't know I was dealing with a bout of depression all weekend. And the last thing I needed was someone to call me up and say all I'm good for is shitting on people. I didn't need that when I woke up in the morning. I wanted to have a little value in life. But he continues to say that. So I'm like, dude, why don't you call your girlfriend and fight with her? That can work. And he's like, no, I don't want to get in a fight with her. I'm like, why do you want to fight me? And he goes, see, you're getting mad. And I stopped and I was like, you know what, bud? I love you and I respect you, and you are the sunshine of my day. And he's like, cut the shit, man. I need you to be mean to me. He's like, my family was mean to me, and that's how I got through stuff, and I need you to abuse me. And I'm like, I am not going to abuse you because you're a rainbow. You're a unicorn. And I just wouldn't stop giving compliments that were over the top. And then he got mad at me and said, be ready for this again tomorrow, and then hung up. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it me for not browbeating a guy I thought was my friend when I wasn't in the mood just to be mean for no reason? Like, I can be mean. It's my act and stuff. And yeah, in real life I can do it. But it's a gift. I don't just share it for free. I do that for money. Like, I'm not going to do that to nobody for no reason. Is it him for just thinking right away, this is the guy who can be mean to me, and that's how he sees me? I thought we were friends, and now I'm just a mean man. Is it his girlfriend for not being meaner to him? Why can't she ruin his life the way a girlfriend's supposed to? Or is it his family
That is
for
her
causing all
job.
this? Right,
It
I
is
would
her
think so.
job.
I'm not dating him. Who's the piece of shit? Bobby, go first.
It's both of you. Cut that dude
Okay.
out of your life. He clearly wants to fuck you. Like, it's a
I
weird
thought so.
homoerotic situation. Like,
Dude, I thought that.
he's either gonna murder you or rape you. It's not gonna end well.
That's true.
What, he won't do both?
Probably not. It's one or the other. The murder will be out of frustration that he doesn't get to rape you.
Well, if he murders me, then he can. Oh, I guess it's not rape after.
No, it's
No, it's
necro.
rape if you're dead. No, I think it's like necrophilia, but it's still rape.
See, I mean, technically, but I'm not saying no. I'm not
I
saying
think if
any-
you explicitly stated no before he murdered you, then it
Or
would
if I wear a
still
T-shirt that says
constitute.
nope.
Or like if you put it in your living will that if somebody murders you, they are not allowed to have sex
They're
with
not
your
allowed to have
corpse.
sex with you. Yeah.
That's my living will. What about my dead will? Do I need a dead will too for when I'm dead?
Maybe.
I don't know if he likes me like that. I don't think that's the thing. But that's a weird place to put me in, correct?
There's
Also at
no
8
other
a.m.?
reason. There's no other reason you call a man and ask him to bully you at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, I've called friends
8
and
a.m.?
bullied.
8 a.m.
Yeah, I've called friends and bullied them at 8 a.m. But that's just because they need that.
But you did it to them. So did
That's
you
my
want to
point,
have sex
yeah.
and murder them?
No, I didn't call them and ask them to bully me so I could beat my dick homoerotically. There's a difference. Like, I called my buddy Mike, who's an alcoholic, who I knew would be passed out drunk, and was like, hey, Mike, I'm on a radio show. And they said, if your buddy picks up, you get a free case of beer. But apparently you're too drunk for that. Turns out your alcoholism prevented you from being a better alcoholic. And I'll hang up, and then he'll call back like 6 hours later and be like, dude, is there still beer?
Yeah, but that wasn't bullying. That was just a prank.
It's the same kind of thing. Then
No,
when he
because he didn't
calls
want
you
me
like,
to do jokes. If I could do jokes during it, he wanted me just to be mean. He's going to kill himself hearing this anyway. He's going to find out I'm talking about it, and that's going to make him insane. But it's weird. It's fucking weird, right? Barb, who's the piece of shit?
I'd deadbolt your door.
I did.
I mean, yes, I second that. I would probably double at your door and make sure your windows are locked every night.
I do anyway. I live in a bad neighborhood.
I also love that Bobby immediately got up when the woman was about to start speaking. Strategic move, amazing. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the girlfriend, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if he has a girlfriend, as a woman, it is your job to ruin that man's life and make him feel like shit. Like it is. Like I've bullied every single boyfriend I've ever had. I'm a huge bully to men. I think we should all be meaner to men. Like I have girlfriends who are too nice to guys, and I'm like, don't be nice to them. You got to be meaner to them.
But why?
Honestly,
No, I want to know why. Why be
Why
mean
what?
to a man if the man is nice to you?
okay, and this is coming from me from being a bartender and just me being a bitch. The meaner you are to guys, the nicer you are, and that's usually not the type of guy you want around you. But in my experience, the meaner I am to dudes, the nicer things they've done for me, or they've tried to crawl up and like kiss my ass more. And like it's a really
To like
bad
get you to be
manipulative way.
nice?
I don't know if it's to get me to be nice, but I guess just to get like the approval, like, or I want this girl to like me, or I want her. No, in all seriousness, I definitely think, well, first, his girlfriend's a piece of shit because she should be doing the
She's a
bullying. She
sweetheart,
should be
though. I've
calling
met
up
her.
random
She's
dudes.
very nice.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then he's the piece of shit too, because why do you just call someone up and expect them to shit on your life? Like, I think that's a little rude. I don't know. I feel like it's a little entitled. Like, what if you were busy? What if like you were busy?
He did
at 8
ask. He
o'clock
said,
in the
"Are you
morning?"
working?" I said no.
Oh, okay.
And then he
that was
called me.
considerate. All right, that was a little considerate.
Could you have
That
said
was-
something along the lines of like, just check the YouTube comments on your Super Bowl commercial?
On your Super Bowl commercial?
I'm shot in the
Tell
dark
it
at which
to-
comedian called you.
Tell it to just post
someone
a
I know
pro
who has a
Israel
Super Bowl
TikTok and
commercial?
everyone to tell him to die.
I don't know anyone
yeah.
who has a Super Bowl commercial.
He was the heavyset guy who gets beer poured on him while he dances.
Oh, no. This wasn't a heavy
The
set
Miller
man.
Lite commercial?
This wasn't him.
I think it was a local PA commercial. But now
Yeah,
it's in
that's not who he...
I just assumed that guy
By the
needed
way,
bullying.
I don't know why every time we have a show and there's a chance, Bobby has to make fun of Avery Quinn. I love Avery. And you can see Avery with me on New Year's Eve in Derby. Avery is a lovely man. No, it's not Avery Quinn. This guy has not been on the show either. Now, this guy looks at me like a mentor, too. He's like me as a comic from before I did comedy. He looks up to me. So that's why this was even weirder, because I do nothing but be supportive to him and try to
But,
get
like,
him
he
spots
wanted
and do
you to
things.
he wanted you to berate him before the show or on the show?
He wanted me to berate him on the phone while he was driving to work.
Oh, like not on air. This wasn't
No,
like
just
for
to
content.
just
This
yell
wasn't
at
for
me.
content. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, he's a piece of shit for sure.
On the
He's
show,
definitely a
I would
serial
kid.
killer.
That'd be fun. Like if Bobby said to me, "Let's do a bit where you come at me," or Bobby's like, "I'm gonna go away." I would get that. Okay, we'll do it on the show, then we'll talk afterwards. It'll be fine. Bobby and I have had arguments on the air that afterwards we talk it out. This wasn't a thing like for entertainment. He needed
Sometimes
this
I don't
to
even
get
have to
through his
request
day.
a bit.
Yeah, there is.
There he goes. Let's see. I'll just take a train up later and beat the shit out of you. It's fine. I got no problem with that. I got nothing to do.
26 Salisbury Road, my man.
Okay.
No, just send me
dox
presents.
yourself,
No,
buddy.
I'm marking that down. I will be there in a little bit. You're poking the tiger of a guy who got woken up at 8 a.m. that some guy wanted to yell at him.
First of all, to wake
But you
someone
didn't
up
yell.
at 8
You
a.m.,
had the
you're a piece of
opportunity.
shit. Like,
I know, it's nighttime now. I'm ready to fuck somebody up. Go ahead.
I definitely think he's a piece of shit. I'm gonna go with the girlfriend and then him, because calling someone up at 8 a.m. expecting that is ridiculous. It's absurd.
Now, as a friend, though, I'm asking both of you this for real. As a friend, if this guy sounded like he desperately needed, even though it's a weird thing, as people who have mental issues, I do, we all do. For some reason, he needed that. Am I supposed to be the friend that just does that? I feel like it's enabling. I think, if anything, he should learn to get out of that cycle of not needing that.
His
Yeah, 100%.
mental illness is he needs people to be mean to him.
Yeah.
What
Someone told me.
what a
People are
fucking terrible mental illness to have. Oh God, my life's going so great. I need somebody to level me out here. Like, no,
I
I'm
guess
good
it's
on
the
my
only way
own.
that makes him feel okay because that was the only way he saw love or something. You didn't say that, but I'm kind of like reading between the lines.
I'll give him my mother's phone number, and my mother will rip him to shreds in one sentence at 8 o'clock in the morning. He will lose all will to live after he talks to this old Polish woman. She will shit on all his life choices, and he will lose all will to live if that's what he wants at 8 a.m.
I don't know because it's a woman, and like you said, women are just supposed to be mean to men. Maybe you'll get turned on.
You're not supposed to be. That's just the philosophy I have, okay? I think that many women are too nice to men. I think they're too nice to men, and we need to be meaner.
I don't think it's a male versus female issue. I think you should always mark it as individually. You be nice to people that are nice to you, and you're mean to people that are mean to you. You don't just be mean to all men, mean to all women. Like, you don't just hate the Chinese, you hate everybody.
I
mean,
hate the Chinese. I hate all of them.
I love their food. It's so good.
I'm a guy who's fueled by anger more than most. But part of that, like the Mamba mentality, if you will, is psyching yourself up. Like finding the thing that's going to like it's not getting somebody else to make fun of you.
Right.
Like Kobe found a guy who stopped wearing his shoes, like out of respect, the game he played Kobe, and was like, "Oh, that's how we're doing it," and scored 60 points on him. Like, it's you find the thing that's stupid that irritates you. You know what I mean? You don't need somebody else. That's a real problem.
Or you self-hate, right? I mean, when in doubt, you look in the mirror like Ed Norton, like, piece of shit. You start yelling at yourself.
Or you get a knife, you go across instead of down.
I think
You'll
once
get the
again,
attention you're looking for, but you won't have to really worry.
we have to say, was it unknife? The unknife yourself.
I didn't get
YouTube.
too detailed.
Yeah. Here's where we say don't use knives, ladies and gentlemen. I don't
recommend.
I don't know. I wanted to be his friend, but I had to.
Why do you want to be friends with somebody who wants you to be mean to them?
Because my whole life is
that's
about
the
when people are
bullshit.
fucking hurting, I have to be the person there. Then they're mean to me at the end. It's how all my relationships happen. It's how all my friendships happen. When people are hurting, I feel like I need to be the person for them. And then when I am for them, then they shit on me and then they run away. That's my circle of life.
Well, can I call you up at 8 a.m. and ask you to like be nice to me? Like, because that's my mental illness.
Yeah, I'm
I
usually
need
up at 8.
reassurance from
I was
everyone
actually
around
texting
me.
with
I
my
need
daughter because she
everyone-
was at work early. So like I wasn't asleep, but then the call came. I thought it was actually my daughter, so I just answered it because she was at work early. Then it's a guy going, be mean. I'm like, this is the opposite. Anybody can call me at 8 a.m. and I say be nice. Or just say hello. I don't do requests. It's like when you're a comic, Bobby, and someone says, "You're a comic? Tell me a joke." Yeah, I'm good at being me.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
me and
doing
my
it on the
friends, we
spot.
like to gamble. No, you asked me to tell a joke. All right, so me and my friends, we like to gamble.
Yeah.
And then the world shut down sports for 3 months. And what'd you do when the world shut down sports, Barb?
World
What,
shut down sports.
What did I do?
I'm going into my joke.
I don't know. I guess I sat on the internet a lot. I watched a lot of reality TV, a lot of reruns of things.
Well, we decided we would rewatch the Women's World Cup.
Oh,
my
World Cup. I've never watched that, Bobby. What's that like?
Well, let me tell you, the big game this year was the United States beat Vietnam. That's
What?
a first, huh?
They have a team, the Vietnam team? I didn't know.
That's a first, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
It wasn't a tie? I've heard it was a tie.
That's how we like to sell it, but no, we actually won this one.
But did we recruit a lot of their younger players and bring them over here?
And that was part of it. And the other issue we had is a lot of our players converted to Islam and moved to Canada.
That part I don't know.
That was draft dodging.
Oh, okay. I was like, I was bad at history books. I was like, I was there for the whole baby stealing, but that was it. Did some of the older players marry some of the younger players?
I was gonna ask, did they get child brides?
Was it the men
A
versus
lot of them
women?
got addicted to painkillers when they came back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What was the Vietnamese mascot?
Charlie.
What is a Charlie, though?
My friend Charlie Dulick.
Oh, that's Charlie Brown, maybe. I thought that'd be fun.
No.
He just ran around with a wicker hat on.
Nah, that would be the opposite of what you want because he never kicked the ball. Be a terrible mascot for a soccer team.
Yeah,
I feel like sports can bring us together, though. Like, you know,
Sometimes.
I think they could bring us together. Like,
If I can change and you can change, we all can change.
you gotta do it
Rocky
in the
IV.
accent.
I feel like maybe if we got like a women's team from Israel and like find the last few women left in Palestine, they could have a World Cup match. Like that would go well, right?
You can't have
I think
11 on 2.
I think we've talked about this on here before, but in cricket, Pakistan and India fucking hate each other in
Yes.
the world. So when they
Yes.
play cricket, shit gets fucking wild.
It's like World War III could have like they could like go
Yeah.
into war over there when they have cricket matches 100%. I've
And,
had
like-
both like people tell me both were Pakistani and Indian and like they 100%.
Dude, and then they like both dress up to the extremes. So like Team Pakistan's women are all like you can only see pupils, and then like Indian women are basically naked because they're like, look, it's better over here.
Like yeah, we could have our tits and ass out. Like look at us, like we're wearing.
And then
crop tops.
unfortunately, one of the Indian men dies during the game, and then they have to throw his wife on the fire. So they see atrocities on both sides, and it's crazy.
I know nothing of cricket. Is there any physical contact in cricket or no?
It's like baseball.
There is no physical contact in cricket, but kind of like baseball, you can throw the ball at people.
Okay, so
There's
there is
an-
ways to hurt and retaliate. So if they have real hate, they can fuck with each other.
Oh yeah. My favorite Indian bowler is very, very dark skinned, and he just comes in the game and throws at people. He does not go for the pins at all. He just literally throws at the Pakistani team for his 6 pitches.
Sorry, I just have to write down the title of this show, My Favorite Indian Bowler.
Yeah, man, he's the shit. I forget his name
I've
right
never
now.
heard that phrase in my life.
When only cricket was being played, it was like 3 a.m. and I was pretty high, and I was this close to buying one of his jerseys because I was like, this dude's the shit. He's the enforcer.
I got to
And I
be a
realized
social
cricket's
justice
stupid.
warrior today. I was talking to my mom, and she said her and her boyfriend went to an Indian powwow. I'm like, you can't say that. Like, you have to call it something different. She goes, they called it something different because they're in North Carolina. They called it Veterans Dance. I was like, that is not.
They called it
Veterans
the
of what?
Wounded Knee reenactment.
Veterans of the country? Like, they were here first, but like, what do they call
I've been
Indians now?
invited. Well, I would say natives, indigenous people, Native Americans.
They were doing
like-
that. They got rid of indigenous. I know that, and they got rid of native. There was
Oh,
something
we
else
can't
now.
say that? Oh, we
No,
can't
there's a
say
new
that?
I
one.
call him an endangered species.
If we called them endangered, dude, that'd be hilarious.
Just saying, their numbers are dwindling.
I've been invited to like I would say I guess I don't know if I'm allowed to say powwow, but I guess I will.
I think you can say
By,
powwow.
By someone who is Native American. The thing is, it was out in the Hamptons, and I can't go in the Hamptons to a powwow looking the way I do. They're gonna be like, get this bitch out of here. Like she's about to like buy up our land. She's gonna put down like another fucking private landing strip. Like I felt so awkward having like I really appreciate the invite, but I really don't think anyone would appreciate my presence like other than you there as a white woman going to a powwow in the Hamptons.
No, you should have
Like,
leaned
it
in.
was-
You should have gone in a horse and buggy. You should have gone there with like a big bag of money to buy.
I
the
brought you
land.
all
That was-
blankets. Here, it's gonna get
Oh my
cold.
God, they're blankets. They're like, these are cashmere blankets, hand woven. Here you go.
They have the smallest of pox on them.
The tiniest. It's the most luxury, the most elitist of pox. But yeah.
But wait a minute. So there was a powwow in the Hamptons.
Well, there's
They were
Long
just as out of
Island-
place.
Well, the Long Island is all used to be all Native American land. If you go to Long
So did
Island,
everything.
Yes, no shit. Obviously, the whole country.
There's a lot of evidence the Vikings kind of ran Long Island for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there's places like Pachog and Hapak, like they're all fucking named after these tribes and white people. Like mediocre, like Italians have just taken over the entire fucking island. And I mean, they're like, they have a lot of powwows and a lot of still like reservations and like native and like their land, like the federal government owns it. Obviously, it's not their land, but like they live there. And there is a few out in the Hamptons, like by Southampton and stuff like that, which was a shock to me. But yeah, most of Long Island was like, I mean, I don't know the proper term to say this. I don't want, listen, I'm a white woman. You can cancel me for whatever I say. I don't like it. But it's weird. I didn't know that because you have like the two extremes.
When you think about it, Long Island is how they would name things. Like Running Bull, that's the Long Island.
Like literally Long Island, yeah, because it's a long island. Like that's why, 100%.
Yeah. So you guys ready for a crazy conspiracy? This is via Sam Tripoli.
Okay.
But
yes.
We have a lot of evidence now that the Vikings came to America well before Columbus. Like there are writings from the Indians about these white people coming to visit in Viking boats. And Vikings were known as incredibly fierce warriors. And if you were from that region, you would have very fair skin. And if you were out fighting all day in the sun, you would get what color skin?
Red.
So the Washington Redskins was actually named after a fierce race of Viking warriors who were like the elite fighters. And by changing the name, it was just protecting white people, not Native Americans.
Well, Native Americans, most of them, like that have outspoken, I've talked to, are content creators, like Native American. They don't care. They didn't give a fuck about the name, the Redskins.
No, it's white people.
Yeah, it was white people. It's white women with blue hair. That's who cares.
Which makes sense because it was Vikings who would have been white women with...
Not blue hair.
Blonde hair. Could be like tinted
They just
blue
get pulled by
the
their
water.
hair.
It depends on how cold it got.
So wait, should the Vikings also be the Commanders? Should everyone be the Commanders?
I just don't like the name Guardians. I was pretty
That's
pissed.
the baseball one. That one's dumb
Yeah.
too.
Well, here's the thing, though, that a lot of people don't know is that Guardians is named after an elite group of cops in Cleveland whose only job is to guard the elite pedophile ring they have there. So their sole purpose is making sure the pedophiles don't get in trouble. And I think it's kind of ridiculous you would name your team after that instead of, an honorable tribe of people. Go ahead, Pat.
So when you have to guard just the elite pedophiles, what puts you in elite status and makes you just a regular, not guarded pedophile?
Basically an IQ. So like if you would get caught by Chris Hansen, you're not an elite pedophile.
But you have TV credits
you're
though.
Fucking dumb.
You have credits.
Yeah, but so do a lot of people.
I know a comic that said he was on that show. It didn't help him much. He's like, I was on that show.
Was it Chris D'Elia that was on
no,
the show?
No, it wasn't Chris D'Elia.
Okay.
No.
Did he say that that's what helped him get his Super Bowl commercial?
Leave Avery Quinn out of this.
They've never had a woman on. They've never had a female predator on to catch a predator. They never had a female pedophile.
Imagine arguing. I want you to fight that stance. The sexist people to catch a predator have not had a woman on there yet. I want that fight. I want to stand tall until we get women diddling kids.
The opposite was...
A lot of women do diddle kids. Like a lot of teachers, they diddle fucking kids, man.
They do.
They caught women. They caught women, but they just didn't put it on air. The difference was when the woman showed up, they had like a tunnel. The cops made one of those tunnels like you make for kids when they're playing t-ball. Like, yeah, good for you. Chris Hansen gave her a high five and was like, thank you for your service.
Or the kid had a cigarette and he's just like, I'm not pressing charges.
Finding like hot young like lacrosse and like football players on TikTok, and then I'll see they're in high school and I'll be like, oh no, you're not allowed to look at that. Like, no, like it's not I'm saying it's easy, but like there's a slippery slope with social media. What like
you're borderline. You would probably be okay, but like at a certain level of ugliness, that's when Hansen and the cops would be like, gotcha. You catfished that young man.
No, if I gain like 20 more pounds, then 100%. Then it's like a whole different ball.
No worries.
7? Fuck you. You bald-headed motherfucker.
No, 7's the age of child that Bobby and I say is wrong. Well, no 7s. It's a lucky number. I got 3 7s. I hit the jackpot. By the way, Slippery Slope should have been the name of the Vietnamese soccer team.
You'd have to make it plural.
They're a skiing team. They're the Slippery Slope.
They're like the Harlem Globetrotters. They're always pulling tricks. They like pick the ball up and put it in your shirt and stuff.
They do 3-card Monty with the ball. It's a good time because they're always gambling. So wait, are the Vikings? So why is the Vikings? I know what's his name does a bit on this, Andrew Schultz anyway. But like, seriously, why is the Vikings not taken away as a name? They were awful people.
No, they're pretty cool.
They were not pretty.
They're
cool.
like worshipped in Scandinavia.
They also killed everyone they saw.
Yeah, they raped and pillaged and killed.
In self-defense.
You can't just pillage. You've got to rape and pillage. No one
That's
just
my
pillages.
favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Hannibal Buress joke.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Pillage and plunder. It's like,
What the hell's plunder? I don't know. I thought we were focused on the rape.
Yeah, it's a great bit. Had that bit and his Bill Cosby outing bit are the two best bits he's got.
Oh, the Bill Cosby one is good.
I kind of like the Scottish woman at 2 a.m. where he's like, I was drunk and horny, so she was quirky.
Quirky. You can't quirky and plunder. All right. So I'm not the piece of shit, right? Anyway,
No, I'm not letting you off the hook completely.
Damn it.
You need to cut this man out of your life. Also, it is kind of like the end of Hoosiers, where they're like, hey, Jimmy, we're going to give you the shot. And you're like, nah, I'm going to miss the shot. They're like, this is the only reason you're on the team, man. This is what you were born to do. Step up.
And you know what's even worse? I said no, but then I came on a podcast and talked shit about him with him.
Well, he should have known you need 12 hours to write.
You know what?
Well,
I
have him
like
call at 8
writing.
p.m. and then you could berate him. Tell him next time, call me at 8 p.m.
Every parent should own a cricket stick to use as a paddle. Okay, we went too far. Okay.
Now,
No.
I'll teach you a lesson my Italian grandfather taught me because he would use a pizza scooper. And that is, without holes drilled into it, it's not aerodynamic enough to get the velocity you're looking for.
A pizza scooper?
Yeah.
What is that?
It
The
looks a
thing
lot
they
like a
use to
cricket
twist the
stick.
Pizza?
Oh, man. You get hit and then they'd make pizza?
No, I don't think he made pizzas.
Oh. Because I
think it
would
was
want to
just-
know. Does this have any Bobby ass on it? You're like, nah, just
No,
pepperoni.
I think it was just in case somebody was like, what's that for? Oh, it's our pizza scooper.
Just
I
so
wasn't
they don't
hit
say
with
child abuse. So
Exactly.
they don't get, So it's not like I beat my grandson with this. They say pizza scooper. That has a much better ring to it than I use this to beat my grandson.
But Italians say that. This is the spoon I use to raise my kids.
See, I had a belt. My mom was a good old fashioned belt. Eastern Europeans, they
Like
don't-
a
my
whip,
mom
or
said,
would she loop it?
Both.
Oh, God. What's
When,
worse?
if you get that belt buckle, it hurts.
Yeah, I would say so. It's a metal buckle.
Once she threw a hair dryer at me, so I'm grateful. I
Did
didn't
you
have
catch it just through your hair?
No, I just kind of dodged it. I dodged it.
Yeah, that's a dumb thing. I don't understand. That is the power of a parent when you're a child, when they throw something at you knowing you're too in fear to throw it back. But when that kid finally gets the balls and you give that kid a weapon, that's when you learn not to do it anymore. Like, I can throw this at you now. It's like,
Or when
You
you
know,
catch the
even-
slap.
Don't fuck around. Oh yeah, they don't like that. Oof.
catch the slap?
Oof, yeah.
Bobby, you did that?
7th grade,
Catch it or you
baby.
block it. You catch it or you block it, and they don't like that at all.
What was their face? Were they just in shock?
It ended with us both on the ground, like our backs, but our heads like head to head, and just being like, all right, it's a tie. It's a tie.
Oh, I thought you meant laughing.
No.
The student has finally become the teacher.
What I do like about parenting is how like parents have treated it like the CIA, where they're like, hey, this hand-to-hand combat's getting a little messy. Let's go to psychological torture. And I feel like that's where my parents really started to shine, where it'd be like, oh, you cried? You're in 4th grade. Boys aren't supposed to cry. Go run a mile.
See, my
Would it
mother
hurt
would
to get
con-
hit with a cricket stick? Are they hollow or are they all wood?
Well, it would hurt. I mean, they hit like pretty solid balls. I've never played cricket, but I'm fascinated by the sport.
Is it like a baseball
Is it
bat,
similar
like in the
to
same kind of
a field
density?
hockey stick?
It's a cross between the two. It's like the weight of a field
Okay.
hockey stick, but
Because
the
I'm
density.
imagining a field hockey stick.
That would hurt.
Yeah,
That hurt a lot.
it's like a heavy, long, heavy field hockey stick. Like they don't really swing it past their waist. It's so heavy.
Yeah, I've never been hit with a field hockey stick, but I was dating a girl in high school that played field hockey, and a girl threw my girlfriend the stick when she wasn't looking, and I got in the way so it wouldn't hit her. She's like, trying to be nice, didn't look, and it hit my arm, and I'm like, okay, that hurt a little
It
bit.
hurts.
If you
It
whacked me on purpose with it, it would have hurt a bunch. But
My
yeah, I didn't get hit
issue
with stuff.
is I don't think you're gonna get enough velocity.
With a
I don't know why you
with
can't
what?
just smack your kid with your hand.
With a cricket stick.
Because your hand will hurt.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like I haven't been in a lot of fights in my life, but the fights I've had, my hand hurt after punching someone in the head.
Well, I don't think
No,
you're
that
supposed
is
to
true.
punch.
No,
No,
you
I
punch
don't.
somebody, you, like, slap them.
I've never hit my kids, and I've never been hit by a parent. So I'm sorry, I'm not good at this. But like, I just know
okay.
regular fights. I just loved my kids the whole time.
That's good. That's good.
I'm
You
sorry.
loved your kids.
But Bobby's right though. The mental abuse was what I had. That's where I was treated real good.
Just lock a kid in the room and play Barney's I Love You for 12 hours straight.
I can name the number of times I was hit as a kid. Like that's easy. Like you know what I mean. I can remember the 3 times.
Oh yeah, the list goes on and on. But it wasn't like abuse, like everyday abuse. I got my shit beaten out of me. But yeah, if I misbehaved or I did something my mother saw as misbehaving, she would probably hit me.
That's crazy. I don't know.
It's
I don't want
fine.
to get into a parent. It's just to me. When my kids did something that, first of all, I don't think I'm a judge and jury of life, so I can't tell someone they did something wrong. So if they did something and they had questions about it, we would talk about it. But that's also because I was told I did everything wrong. So I think that because of my upbringing, I make sure my kids, we just talked everything through. But I also admit all the time that I don't know most things. So I'm like, I can't tell you you're doing something wrong. I only learn from my mistakes, so therefore, maybe I won't take out a flip-flop like a Puerto Rican and smack you with it. That's the official hitting of a Puerto Rican is the flip-flop. They have a
the
name
shoe.
for it, though. It's
I know. I'm gonna mispronounce it. I know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it because
Bobby, you know it?
Chancla, I want to say.
It's something like that. I was gonna say chunka, but I know it's not chunka.
I can spell it, but I'm not.
That's
gonna
what
say
their
it.
women look like,
Fuck it up.
chunkas. Like, but it's not that. But it's like,
I could call my buddy Vic.
did he get hit with a chunka?
He has a whole bit about getting hit with it. Vic get hit.
Oh, one of your
Spot
buddies, a friend
goes
requested
stop.
me yesterday.
Who was that?
The guy Carl who he booked something. Yeah, we had him out here once. Remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he Carl did jokes. Scotty's.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he was in hot water before I was at compound, and he was just being big and gay. Is he gay?
No,
Oh, he was just doing
that's the twist. He
That's
has
the
kids.
twist?
He has kids.
You can be gay
Gay
with
guys
kids.
have
That's-
kids.
That's a whole thing.
No, with his wife he has kids, which means he
Yeah,
did
a lot
it.
of gays
Yeah.
have wives with kids.
He could be gay and have kids with his wife. Exactly.
I don't
love
think
it.
you guys know what gay means.
Yeah, it means happy.
That's another great joke Vic does. Where he had to explain what gay meant to his daughter, and he was like, it means happy. And she's like, you're not very gay, Daddy. He was like, you're right. You tell all your friends, Daddy's never gay.
Someone's
I saw-
a little gay.
I saw a meme today. It's by an older one, but it was like or a little video clip, whatever. And they were asking younger kids if it's okay if 2 men are in love. And all the kids are like, "Of course, why isn't it?" When I shared it in my stories, and then this one kid just looks and goes, "No." And then they show him again. He goes, "I would never be friends with them. That is evil." I was like, "What the fuck is this kid?" He was like a little tiny child. I was like,
That
"Damn."
kid? The Republicans are about to scoop him up right up. The right's about to scoop him up and fucking throw money at this kid.
I like to think that kid just was a contrarian. Like, I could see me doing that if I saw everybody in my class being like, no, it's right. Just being like, I'm going to be the one who says the opposite. I'm going to get a laugh here.
Oh yeah, no, 100. Like that's also little kids are assholes. Like little boys especially are assholes. So that's true. He probably wanted to be different and be like, well, no, but actually.
Yeah, I was an attention whore, but we didn't get cool videos back then. We didn't have cameras or no. There was no questions of your thoughts. I wish we had. That'd be more fun. But like, we didn't have. What do you feel about the gays? Because back then, a teacher one time told this kid. He said, "What are you, gay?" He said it, and the kid was just late.
Well, and gay
He
was
wasn't
an
even-
insult. Like gay was an insult. Like you would like dudes would call themselves gay, like call like other dudes gay. Like you'd call
Yeah.
people gay. Like when I was in middle school, still like retard was a thing. Like you would
Retard's
say
still a
gay.
thing.
Retard's still a thing. I feel like you're not allowed to say it anymore.
It's back.
It's back because I get
But-
so people. All my friends get on me for saying
No,
it. So it's
because
back.
now
No.
they took the word back.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Which
All right,
is-
but if I am one, I'm allowed to say it.
Or
It's
if you're any
hilarious.
kind of autistic, right, Bobby? Like you can say it now. Like
I'm pretty sure, dude. Anybody can say it. They aren't.
Yeah, like
They're the most generous people I've ever met. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
they're
they'll
gonna
have a
control
problem
who
with
can
it.
use words.
yeah, I really don't think they have a like that. Yeah, it's usually
That
people
said-
who aren't that
That said,
try to tell you not to say it.
the greatest thing in the world would be the head of the retard delegation talking with the head of the African American delegation about an exchange of the ability to use certain words. Okay, you get it if we get the ability to use a soft A.
Rate, returd.
Nope.
The other word,
The other
I
one.
know that was.
Oh, okay.
one we're not allowed to say.
That was the whole bit.
Retards
It's like
are.
the whole
But
joke
retards
is that a
are.
retarded guy wouldn't understand, and he would think he couldn't have an A in his word anymore.
Oh, I get it now.
Yes.
I guess I'm allowed to use that word.
Me too. You're retarded. There you
I've
go.
been saying it for years, and it's usually I call myself one, and then people like criticize me for using it, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And these aren't like people like comics or anyone on the internet. These are like friends in my life. They're like, I don't like you using that word around me, and I'm like, I'm referencing myself. Like, excuse me, I'm allowed to say it in reference to myself.
I try to soften it up by just calling people Riris.
That's cute.
That's cute. That's that's a little cute little nickname, like Rihanna, like Riri, like
Or someone-
Well, I
Or
kind
not.
of say it like Riri, but you get the idea.
Re all the way home. Like that'd be fun if you just turned the pigs into retardeds. This little
they
retard
do.
went to market. This little retard went home. This little retard had roast beef.
It does kind of seem like the daily demands
Daily
of that community. Like one wants to eat, one doesn't want to be out in public, one just wants to cry.
One wants to go all the way home.
Yeah, you get the idea.
Oh man. I hope
Even
they
though
go
they're in the
home.
backyard and they are home.
Let them go home.
Remember the guy on the plane?
Do
Wanna go
retarded
home.
parents hit their kids?
No. Not once they're born. That's how you get one.
What? That is not. That's Bobby.
That's not how you get one.
Yeah.
Depends on the type.
You know how when someone says a false COVID thing, they put a thing up. We're gonna have to do like a false retard thing and put that up for there. So like this is wrong.
You get it.
retarded
You get one
information.
from giving them vaccines. That's how you get one. It's like
Whoa.
you let the doctor shut.
Now we're
like-
shut down. Thanks, Barb.
Ooh, this close to getting monetized.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Our retard talk was fine. Then all of a sudden, you had to jump in there with your
I went
vaccines.
in with the-
We've been talking
I
about
was
nice
the one
stuff
who
like
said-
Indians stink and Riris and all that, and you had to ruin it with a little knowledge.
I'm sorry. I'm the asshole. I'm the piece of shit here.
Vaccine. I think there's less retarded people since vaccines, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
I don't see them out
I
there.
don't
Yeah.
think you're allowed to call getting rid of them a vaccine, Pat.
Dude, imagine that concentration camp. That'd be so loud.
Dude, that's a real
They need
debate.
padded walls. They need padded walls at those cabins at that camp.
Instead of like the beautiful art, it's just like stick figure drawings and very ABBA poetry.
At their museum later, it's all left shoes.
Like,
None of them
Anne
are tied.
Frank's diary would be like drawings, like in crayon, essentially, instead of the book we have.
Diarrhea of Man Frank. Like, oh, wow, thank you, Man Frank. I'm a
Just
man
a-
named Frank. I was stuck.
It's a wall of
Yeah.
Velcro shoes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But they're in them, Bobby, and they're stuck to the wall because they put Velcro on the walls. They trapped them.
But no, that's a real debate. Like,
What
should
is?
you, the Down syndrome community
Oh.
is out protesting the ability to abort based on the grounds of
aborting-
Down syndrome.
America, there's a lot more Down syndrome adults here if you walk around compared to other countries. Like if you go to Europe, especially like Eastern and Western Europe, like this isn't like just like these are studies been done on this. We discourage the abortion or like when women like when a child when you get those tests done when you're pregnant we discourage them. They're like, no, like you should have the kid even though it's so much more expensive to have a special needs kid, especially in America with their healthcare system and everything. And in Europe it's the opposite. Doctors will be like, actually it's a lot more like marriages break apart, the kid's life isn't fulfilled, like it's a harder toll on you, it's more money, like the government, like it's so like it's the opposite. Like they're like not that they're encouraged, but they're like you have the option to like terminate this pregnancy, like if it's not a healthy child, if you know they're going to have Down syndrome or some kind of other like special need or like deformity.
And in China, they just can't tell.
Yeah.
In China, it's just a woman, you know.
Haiti is just like, thank God they killed me. Like, I don't want to make a bat. Bats make it out of there more than babies do. That's why they have the saying. It's not baby out of Haiti. They don't get out of there at all. Is bat out of Haiti still a saying?
So I believe it's Hades, Hades.
Oh, like hell?
Like Hades.
Yeah, it's just
I
people
thought it was
being
out of
polite.
Haiti, like the country.
No, like Hades.
I know. Once again, trying
That's
to
a cracker out of Haiti.
I'm 0 for 2 with you guys on a bit where I pretend I'm dumb. Okay.
I'm
Anyway,
autistic, so don't blame me. Okay, let's be real.
no,
I'm
Pat.
not
The
one
A
fault.
in retarded is silent.
I don't think it is.
0 for 3.
But I should
Anyway.
have been. I knew what you were doing there. I was setting myself up.
Oh, okay, good. All right. I'm going to switch topics for a second. You know how Matthew Perry's dead?
Yeah, and then A
I don't
Boogie with a
mean to
hoodie
spoil
wrote
it for
that
you,
song.
Barb, but Matthew Perry died.
A Boogie with a hoodie wrote that song about him.
Who's A Boogie with
he?
a hoodie?
Bitch, I'm drowning.
Oh, I don't know that song. Is that a... That's
If
just-
you
I think
heard it,
was
you
out
would know
before.
it, and you'd be like, "Those are the words." It's just one that has a funky tune that plays all the time.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
like a
the
TikTok
same lyrics over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
Was that playing when
Although-
they found him?
No, that'd be great though.
That'd be-
Kodak Black has my favorite line in that song where he goes, "She keeps calling me daddy, but I'm not her motherfucking father." Just wanted
That's-
to clarify. This
well,
is not
Kodak Black is
incestual.
someone's daddy.
Say that again.
Kodak Black is someone's daddy. Isn't he like a baby daddy, I'm assuming?
I think so. My favorite thing about Kodak Black is he lives at Mar-a-Lago, and because Trump pardoned him, he's just the biggest Trump supporter. So he'll just pop out at Mar-a-Lago, throw a bunch of gang signs, and be like, "Yo, that's Unky Trump. He the shit."
You know,
Actually, Trump freed a lot of like black people, like a lot of black rappers and a lot of rappers out of jail. That's true.
Yo, the system fucked him up too. Go ahead, Pat. Matt Perry's
well,
dead.
first of all, Donald Trump, you're right, Barb, is like Abe Lincoln too. He freed so many black people. Anyway,
And he definitely did it just for that, just so they would be his friends.
Yeah, so in case there's a war.
From the prison industrial complex.
But yeah, you know who doesn't live at Mar-a-Lago, Bobby? Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry is a bigger star, I would say, now than he had been since on Friends because of his death, and everyone's talking about him all the time. So I think that they should do a reboot of Friends, but do it like The Sixth Sense, where they hologram Chandler, and only Joey can see him. But all you have to do is the regular show, but just cut out all the parts where anyone besides Joey interacts with Chandler. So it's just Chandler talking, and then Joey hears him and thinks he can see. And he thinks he can see him, but he's really dead, like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense. And it's called The Sixth Friend. I think if you did this show, it would be the biggest fucking show on Netflix.
I just found a plot hole for you right there. What about when Chandler marries Monica? That's like 5 seasons of their marriage and the wedding. How are you going to solve that if only Joey can
You
see
just
him?
put Tom Selleck in there
Oh, okay. I think the
because
mothers
he's
would like
dead. He never
that.
gets
the mothers
to.
would like that. Yes.
Right, so Tom Selleck's just in that spot.
Oh, that'll sell with the over 50 like white woman crowd. 100%.
As the series goes on, it needs to become more obvious that he's dead. Like he's hanging out with Paul Walker, racing cars at one point. Like at another point, he and Heath Ledger are doing drugs,
Yeah.
and Joey's got to get him off the drugs he's hooked on.
Well, we could do a spin-off where he just moves
And then he
into an apartment
relapses
all
with
of
Chris
them.
Farley, and then he relapses with.
He's like with Norm
Belushi.
Macdonald just hanging out.
Keeps coughing with Norm. He's like, I'm not worried about this cough. It's not cancer.
He goes to the coffee house to watch Amy Winehouse play. She's just performing there.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there. But did anybody else? I wasn't a Friends guy all the way through. Did anyone other care? Did they kill a character off?
No.
Like nobody's sister or mother or family member died.
It was like a grandma that died, and that's
Right.
it.
So if anyone did die, they would just move in with Chandler.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's good. That'd be good.
I mean, they call it The Sixth Friend. I think you can sell merch.
Now, what if instead of that, you just added Luke Perry to every scene Chandler's in, and he was also a ghost, and then he could be the sixth friend?
But he wasn't on the show. You could do that with 90210. No! That's what you call it, and then Luke Perry's not there anymore.
Ooh, I like that. But I'm just saying, so you take the same thing you're doing, right?
Right, yeah.
But then just you CGI and Luke Perry making funny reactions.
Well, we can just do that with Bill Cosby and have him instead of Chandler.
Okay.
And have him just say wacky things from the Cosby Show that seem kind of rapey instead of Chandler.
Pops, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was trying to be serious here, but if you want to just be ridiculous, sure, we can work Cosby in.
Yeah, let's throw in Harvey Weinstein. Let's have Miramax produce the whole show while we're at it, okay?
Why don't we just throw a monkey in and make it a central plot point, Pat?
Well, I was trying to get the ratings up, Bobby. Nobody gives a fuck about Luke Perry. People, if Cosby showed up on Friends, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Because if those two shows combined, that'd be the greatest ratings ever for NBC. What's up, Scott? How are you, sir? So no one's on board for my show.
I don't.
You wouldn't watch it if you saw that they were going to reboot it with a CGI Matthew Perry.
I don't even think the Matthew Perry estate's on board with your plan, Pat.
I think
if
they
you
are.
were to reboot it, you'd have to do Fat Monica. Like, you'd have to make her fat, and then you'd have to switch out. You can't have all 6 white people, though. NBC won't allow that now.
You can use Monica now, and she just looks like Gollum with a wig.
Hey, you bite your fucking tongue.
Dude, I didn't know that either until last week. We pulled up footage when I said Compound, and I was like, holy shit, I did not know.
She ruined her face with really bad plastic surgery. She overdid it with plastic surgery and Botox. Like, there was a moment even on Friends, like, towards the end where it was starting to get bad, and now it's like, if you see her in Scream, like, there's a moment in Scream 6 where she gets punched in the face, and it's like the best fucking part of the whole movie. It's the highlight of the entire film. Jenny Ortega punches Courtney Cox, like, their characters in like a scene, and it's the best part.
But she was still looking fly on Cougar Town. That wasn't too long ago.
No, her face is fucked up on Cougar Town.
I thought she looked good on Cougar Town, and I don't like old women at all.
She's not old on Cougar Town.
I guess if you put old Gap
for my standards,
Phillips, if you put old Gap to Busy Phillips next to you, you look good by comparison anyway, right?
Old Gap.
I mean, yeah, that's kind.
First of all,
people are more worried about what distance you could kick a field goal from through those teeth, less worried about.
As a gap-toothed bitch, I'm gonna take offense to my community. She's not a good representative of us, but I'm gonna take offense to that.
Well, that's why they named her Busy, because her teeth are so busy running around her mouth. What a terrible name
because she's
for
the
a child.
Michael Strahan of TBS sitcoms doesn't mean she needs our respect.
She has a talk show host, like talk show for no fucking reason too. Like for no.
Bobby.
She just blows like a tunnel of wind.
Mount Rushmore, gap tooth. Strahan.
Strahan's got to be up there.
I don't think Busy makes it. She can't make it.
I'd put Barb up there before Busy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we gotta be famous.
On it. Now I'm on it.
Else?
One day I will be.
Then we'll get you up there, but for now you're not on the mount.
I'm trying to think who else had a good gap tooth.
I'm trying to think. I don't know who has gap teeth.
Everyone has like the veneer teeth now, so you have to remember like people's original teeth.
Yeah, we gotta think back in the day, like back in the day.
Think like a few years ago. Yeah.
Did Jim Carrey?
He had goofy teeth, but were they gap?
No. Yes.
That may have been a character he was doing too, though.
Jim Carrey teeth.
The fire marshal Bill.
He has a chip tooth he got fixed, but he didn't have a gap.
Yeah, don't search famous people with gaps. You're gonna get a different thing.
Shirley Temple.
From experience.
Just gay.
I'm gonna put Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple. We can't do children.
No, don't do children. That's weird.
Well, because they didn't get
drugged out adult Shirley Temple.
All right.
That bitch Dakota Johnson. She was in.
Oh yeah.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yep, her teeth stink. Yep, her.
Okay, Pat. Here's a TV show for you.
Did she just leave because her teeth stink?
I don't know. How about 50 Shades of Gay?
What are the shades?
There's like you're good at fashion. And then there's like, well, no, I guess gay for pay would probably be the first fifth shade of gay.
It's all right. We thought you got mad at the gap teeth thing and took off.
No,
Like,
no,
all right.
it froze. It like froze, and I was like, and then I had to like, it just stopped. Like everything like got choppy. So I'm sorry about that.
All right, so now Bobby proposed a show, 50 Shades of Gay. Now, I've never seen 50 Shades of Gray. Are there actually 50 shades of the color gray? And if so, we need 50 Shades of Gay.
No,
If I'm
it's
be
just
honest, I never seen the movie. I read
Me
part
either.
of the book, and it was
okay.
terrible.
Well, let's go to the expert who's seen the movie.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just all like fantasy. The chick wrote a love story based off of Twilight, and it's all kind of BDSM, but it's not really.
Cringy.
Yeah,
It's
it's cringe.
BDSM light. It's like BDSM for suburban housewives.
Yeah,
So
that's.
it's just fucking, right?
But in ours, we're gonna actually have 50 Shades. So the first one would probably be gay for pay. Where you're not
That's
actually gay.
first?
Well, that's the least amount of gay. You're just doing it for money.
That's the
We've all
least
been broke.
amount. What about being
Like,
molested? That's the least amount. Or prison.
No, it depends on how you're dressed.
Because you're paying for gay, you're actually doing it for a thing. Prison, you're just made gay.
No,
No,
prison, you're
you're-
also doing it in exchange for services or like protection.
Sometimes you're not
or happiness or
exchanging.
bitch.
Dropping soap is not exchanging. You just got fucked.
But I
You
feel like that
freeze
dude's
again?
gonna then protect you.
Yeah, 100%. You're not doing it for nothing. It's an exchange of services.
You knew what you were doing when you dropped that soap.
You knew what you were doing. You went to jail with a butthole.
You,
All
if
right.
you're a boy who goes to jail, yeah, you best believe your asshole's about to take some, like, take some pounding. Like, that's just the reality you have to, like, get real with. Like,
That's the
how it
worst
works.
part. You would think people would not do bad things, but they know that the punishment
What
is
happens
butt
in
sex.
jails? Yeah.
It can't be that much butt sex. That's got to be overplayed.
I feel like it's not just butt sex, but like they force you to like blow them. Like I feel like definitely if I was a dude who like ran some shit in prison, I would want to make the other dudes like blow me to show them power. Show power over them.
Oh, why? Why are you mean?
That's there's a lot of vulnerability in forcing someone to blow you.
Because they can bite your dick off.
Yeah.
What are we
and
doing?
Me? I'm going down. I'm going down fucking swinging, Pat. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing in that situation, but
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
going to
die
jail.
straight. What?
Oh my god.
I'm not going to jail.
You're right. Me neither. Blaze of glory.
And if I went to jail, I already look like a jail librarian, so I would have a job. I'd be fine.
The 2.5 days I spent in jail, I was terrified, but everyone was really nice. Women actually in jail are really, really nice, especially if you're crying and you're like a little white girl.
In jail, but not in prison.
No, like county jail. Yeah, this was
Right,
like not
if you were in
This was,
prison,
like,
they wouldn't
county.
have been nice. They'd been scissor the fuck
Oh,
out
if
of
I
you.
was in prison, no. If I was in prison, I don't know if I had to become a Nazi for my protection. I guess I would. I mean, my grandmother would roll over in her grave, being a Holocaust survivor. But like, if I had to, I would.
I'm
My
not a
hardest part-
scientist, but I don't think you can roll over in your grave. So you'd be fine.
It'd be fine.
My hardest part would be trying to join the not white gangs. Like,
And
come
then they
on,
would reject
Crips.
you.
Come on, Crips. I want to be in so bad. Just teach me the fucking dance. Look, I can
You
already
think you
wipe
could
the
do
shoes
dance?
part. What? That's what the sea walk is.
No, but do you think you could do it?
Yes, if the Crips were like, learn how to do this and you can be one of us, absolutely. I'll wear that blue flag hanging out the backside, only on the left side. Yeah, that's the Crip
So
side.
both of you are saying that if you were in jail and you were men, you would make people blow you.
No.
Yes. Oh, I would, 100%. 100%. I'm not denying that.
Right.
That would be my nickname. They'd be like, that's extremely straight Bobby. He doesn't do any gay
Bobby.
shit. Yeah, you don't have to worry about him raping you, but don't try to rape him. He's gonna go down biting.
Yeah, definitely. If I was a dude in jail, I would definitely do a lot of raping.
Oh my god. How come no one's watching these guys? I thought they were in jail. How come they're
That's
just
the
running
point.
around? They're just running around raping. Aren't they in jail?
Yeah.
So we're really on top of things. To be
Why are they loose?
we're really on top of things. Take a look at Rikers. Okay.
They're on top of dudes, fucking them.
I will say, I think that's why so many people get jacked in prison. Because
What's
there is
jacked?
no
Whoa.
greater motivator in
No.
the world.
What's
100%.
jacked?
Like, muscular.
Oh,
Like
I
they
thought it was
work
like
out.
fucked by a guy named Jack.
No, that's the point. They're like, this dude named Jack keeps fucking me, so I'm gonna start doing some extra lifting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so big that Jack can't ever jack me again.
That is prison is a really good workout regimen and a really good like diet and weight loss regimen. I'll give them that. Like some people get really ripped and lose a lot of weight in prison.
Yeah, but some people get fat and some people get killed. It's not the best.
I'm not saying it's the best, but you do get free dental
No,
care.
you're talking like prison's good. You go there, you mouth rape folks, you get strong, you learn.
No, it's not that it's good,
Three
but like there are some benefits.
3 square meals, pre-proportioned for you. Okay,
That's not
you're gonna
square.
get good at basketball. You're gonna get strong.
You can also like learn at like some like Ivy League MBA like IVA programs. Like a lot of like colleges donate their like services to certain prisons, and especially if you're a non-violent prisoner and like you didn't commit crimes against kids or things like that, like women.
Anybody can go
you
to
can
the
get a
University of
degree.
Phoenix.
No, that's what's crazy, Pat. Is they get into fucking like Harvard degrees.
Yeah, exactly. They get like Harvard education in prison.
Harvard's
I'm not
like,
even-
we've got too many Asians, but you know what? We've got a non-violent criminal in Rikers, so let's let him in and get a degree real quick.
Let him get an MBA essentially.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's nuts.
First of all, not everyone's getting 3 square meals or getting a chance to play basketball because they're too busy icing their assholes from the rape. Like they can't eat the whole time. Some of them are getting pounded.
Such suggestive clothes.
But here's what you have to do, Pat.
It's one
much
outfit.
much like when Kobe was being accused of rape, and they were like, "Here, go play, and we'll judge your innocence based on how well you shoot the basketball." That's how you avoid getting raped in prison. You develop a quick 3-pointer. They're like, "Hey, lay off. He needs his legs for that 3."
You don't get a shoe line in prison.
You do. You get to skip the shoe
You
line.
might.
Oh my god! Imagine if Nike sponsored the best mouth
Wasn't
raper.
it like? Didn't R. Kelly make like a release like an album from prison last year, and then it got taken down immediately, but like it blew up in like the little like time it was on Spotify or something?
It was basically his musical version of "If I Did It, I'm Sorry." Like, you know how OJ wrote that book? Like, "If I Did It."
Yes.
It was basically that, where he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I tried to help those girls, but..."
Yeah. So okay,
But the Passport song was my favorite R. Kelly song there is.
we gotta do remix to Ignition. You gotta
No,
be a basic.
you don't know the song where he went to Africa
No.
and he sang to everyone, "Do you
Yes.
have your passports?
Do you have
Get your
your
shot.
vaccines?
Come with Roberts to America." That's my favorite. He's just tricking bitches with a song.
Well, he admits to like liking to peeing on girls in his music.
I don't know if he just admitted to it. He was kind of like singing
Well,
about it, but the women admitted to it. They're like, he peed on
Well,
me.
Trapped in the Closet, it used to be up on YouTube, and I would still watch it in 2020, and I think it's a masterpiece. Like the whole 30-40 part Trapped in the Closet, it's great. I think it's amazing, and he should just be let out because of that and create more Trapped in the Closet. Or have him created from prison.
I mean, so if he's let out because of that, then Michael Jackson has to be told he never did a kid for Thriller. Because Thriller's better than Trapped in the Closet.
Okay,
just
fair,
is.
yes, okay. That's a good
You know what I mean?
Okay, that's the trade-off. If that's the deal you're going to make, that's the deal you're going to make.
And Bill Cosby had like 3 platinum albums.
No, I don't agree with the Bill Cosby thing.
I'm
But I
just
do
saying.
agree with the Michael Jackson.
Where'd Bobby go? Hope Bobby's not getting mouth raped.
Now I'm trapped in this prison,
Oh.
and my cellmate keeps raping me. His dick's in my butthole. It really hurts.
Oh,
I'm not good at
that's
rhyming.
like- I hate the words now.
We do Trapped in the Closet, honestly.
Is that his penis or a digit? I can't imagine what comes next. Oh my god, it's a midget. Midget.
Those are the best. The midget cop ones are the best.
When Bridget's dating the midget, but Bridget's allergic to cherry pie.
Bobby, what's crazy is your song was fine in 2023 until you said midget, then you get canceled. All the butt dick stuff, that was fine. But if you say midget, sorry, we got to shut it down.
Well, yeah, people try to equate it to the N-word, but, like, it's not.
Nope.
What's
Million
crazier
comics.
is that someone would bake an entire cherry pie for their midget friend. That's way too much for him to eat.
Yeah, you can make one of those McDonald's pies.
Do a little mini one.
Yeah, but that's not fair. Midgets have they're thick.
In his hands, that would look like a whole pie.
Dude, I love midgets. I have such an obsession with midgets. I think they're the funny. I love midgets.
All day.
Like,
My
I'm
friends
sorry,
call
I
me
can't
when
say
they
the
see
word.
them.
Oh, I tried to take a picture in public, or I have people send me pictures of them in public. Like, I think midget strippers are like the best fucking strippers. Like, I don't watch midget porn, but I've seen midget porn.
Yeah, I don't like them sexually. I just think they're great.
No. I also think it's great when midgets go to get tattooed, and I'm always asked tattoo artists if they would give a midget a sleeve for like half off. Essentially, I've asked that if you would give a midget like a full sleeve for the price of a half sleeve for a regular person, because it's pretty much the same thing. But I know I love them. And I hate Peter Dinklage for taking him out of the fucking Snow White movie, because I was so looking forward to midgets in the Snow White movie. And then I hate Hugh Grant taking a job away from a midget, because I want to see that in the new Wonka movie. It's absurd. I will always fight for them. I probably won't be politically correct, but
You can be mad at Peter Dinklage. That wasn't Hugh Grant's fault. He just got cast, and they made him a midget. He didn't say no.
He should have said no. He should have said no. Cast a real midget.
I was opening for Hans Kim a couple weeks ago at the casino, and the last night there was a country band playing at this place because they have a bar right outside, and the band comes up, and they have a keyboardist, and the keyboardist was a midget. And I had gotten a little high with Hans Kim, so I could not stop just watching the midget play keyboards. And for like a half hour, and their little feet were just sticking up underneath the keyboard, and there's a little lady one, and she had a cowboy hat.
The pedals? Can they reach the little pedals?
They didn't have pedals. She just did the hands.
Oh my god.
And she also sang and stuff, but they put her on the side, and I'm like, you gotta put her in the middle. If you can't do that to the lead singer. No one's looking at her. Just put the midget in the middle, or put her on a stanchion somewhere in the other part of the room, so we can sound like a Chuck E. Cheese robot band. That's what they become. But I was staring the whole time, and then Hans Kim goes, "Hey man, you want to go walk around?" And I just didn't hear him because I was staring. And he goes, "Dude, you got to get over this." I go, "I don't know why you're under it. I can't stop staring at that." And that's the last time I spoke with Hans Kim, because he walked away from me because I was too obsessed with midgets.
Yeah, you can't make it obvious, but it's really hard not to.
Everyone there knows me, and they're like, "Pat, look for you." And I was.
He's like, "Dude, that's socially unacceptable. You can't just stare at a midget. Here, let me sign the Naruto fire sign before I go on stage. Like, that's fucking normal."
I think that the fact that he was just high, but at a different level, and didn't want to stare at a midget, which I understood. You're either into it or you're not. I'm just watched him play.
I don't think those who live in not socially normal houses should throw not socially normal stones.
Okay, so if you like staring at midgets, if you have the choice between getting a regular stripper or a midget stripper, which one do you pick?
I don't like strippers, so I get the midget one for the laughter.
Okay. Bobby?
Because they make me uncomfortable. Both of them.
I would go with probably a regular, because if I did laugh, I would worry the midget would cry. Like, you weren't taking her seriously.
Like, you weren't like getting turned on, you were just laughing.
I would feel a responsibility, and there's nothing harder than when you feel like you have to get your dick hard. It will not cooperate.
That probably fucks with you psychologically.
Yeah, I'm never
your
more
dick
Catholic
only has
in
to
that
be half as
situation.
hard for the midget.
No, don't do that to them.
It would look giant in her hands.
If I have half a stiffy, it's gonna go all the way in a midget.
Nah, they got them thick.
That's science.
Nah, dog, they got them thick asses.
Well, I feel like their vaginal canal is still as deep as a regular woman's vaginal canal.
That would be 3/4 of her body.
Bobby had that math ready.
Really, seriously, I was like, I don't know
awesome.
what it would be.
I'm good at fractions.
Check it. I have no idea. Like, I don't.
Yeah. No, I don't ever want to have sex with one.
Why not?
Because I don't find them attractive.
That seems
No, yeah, it'd
discriminatory.
be weird to have sex with one. No, I agree with that. It'd be a little weird to have sex with one.
What would you rather have, Bobby? If you have one, you only have two choices: midget or full amputee, arms and legs, but regular body. She has boobs and a pretty face and a flat stomach, but no arms and legs. Nubs.
Welcome to the world of voluntary celibacy, Bobby.
No, you get one or the other.
No, you always have a choice. That's what they taught me in religion. You can just say no.
There's no choice. Gun to your
You
head.
can keep your
All right,
legs
Barb.
together.
Barb, male. He's got a big piece, but he's got no arms and no legs. He's got a pretty face. Or midget with regular style, all midget stuff.
I'm gonna have to go with the midget because the midget can still spank me and pull my hair and all that.
Oh my God, Barb! Oh my God!
Oh, you could do like a pile driver blowjob. You could like hold them up and then slam them down.
And then there we go. Yeah, there we go. See, creativity.
There you go.
I'm sure if I ever decide to have an OnlyFans and I was fucking a midget, it would blow up. So, you know.
Now, would you be willing
You
to
lose
wait
value.
for him to go get his step stool to be able to get to the right proper height?
What do you mean?
He's got it. Yeah.
To level
Like, he's
things
gonna
out,
have
I
to be
feel
able
like
to
you would have to have certain amenities.
Well, I feel like the thing is, I'm not that tall, so I'm 5'2". So anytime I've tried to have sex with someone,
Yeah, but
over
he's
6
3'4".
foot, like mechanics don't work. So like I've been there on the other end where the mechanics don't work. So like there's ways around it, and if he needs a step stool, like
The
I
mechanics.
guess we could use like a yoga block. Like that's fine. Or like we could have him on like a yoga blocks or something like that if he needs it.
What if it's also his squatty potty?
No, that's my spotty potty. Don't do that. I don't use that for sex.
Wait.
That's dirty. Ew.
Wait. How'd the mechanics not work?
No, like when you're short, when you're below a certain, like when you're like below 5'5" or something as a woman, and you're like someone who's like 6'2", 6'3" trying to fuck you, like the mechanics don't work.
I've had sex
it's
with a
just hard.
5-foot person, and I'm
like-
6 feet.
Yeah,
We
but
made the
it's, like,
mechanics
tough to
work.
find,
Yeah, but you
I
got
know,
that
but it's like you gotta get like
scoliosis.
extra pillows. You gotta get like extra pillows. You gotta.
Oh, you have to be nice to
yourself.
him? Barb, your life is tough. The
Wow,
mechanics were tough. The guy had to be nice and give me comfort.
that makes you sound really bad right there. Okay, fair.
That was awesome. But you started this whole podcast by going, be mean to men. And you're ending it by going, yeah, I can't have sex with somebody because they won't allow me to lay down and be comfortable.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, I'd toss you a pillow or two, Barb.
Not sure. Thanks. Well, no, it's just it. I guess whatever. I guess height differences matter on both ends. But I guess to answer Bobby's question, yeah, I guess we could get a step, so I don't mind.
But what if you're bent over, and you've already told yourself the midget's going to do his thing. But then you just turn your head a little bit to look back, and you see that big head, and he's just doing the noises, and he's a midget, and his hands are trying to reach your ass, but he can't. He's got little
Why
claws.
do you have Down syndrome in this? And like your weird little like visual. Why does it?
Whoa, then show me one that doesn't. Oh, I didn't know you had hot midgets.
No, yeah, no, that definitely wouldn't be ideal.
Yeah. Nothing about having sex with a midget is ideal.
No, no.
Just like your prison sex, the two of you. It's not ideal, but apparently you two would just go for it and take over.
What do you mean, you too?
You both said you would skull fuck the land if you were in
No,
a
I did
prison.
not.
No,
I made
Bobby
it very
said he
clear.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I made it clear.
Bobby
My
said-
name would
Made
be.
it very clear he would not.
No,
Yeah.
first Bobby said, I would do it. And then you said, I'd be straight. The first thing, we go back on the tape, you did say you'd make them suck your dick.
Roll the tape. Roll the footage.
It's live. I can't.
That doesn't sound like me.
So fine, Bobby. You wouldn't do that, but would you skull fuck midgets?
Female, maybe.
Yeah. The proper people.
Are they
The ones
any
you're
of them
attracted, the
proper?
gender you're attracted to. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
And Barb, by the way, get back to the part where you said OnlyFans if you had sex with a midget. That wouldn't be good for you because I would just be like, Barb, get out of the way. I'm trying to watch this midget fuck. Like, I wouldn't even want to see. Like, it would be so.
Stop with the weird faces and the moaning. Just like, I want to look at the midget.
Yeah, get out of there. Stop pretending you like this and get out of the way.
Fair. That's fair. No, that's true. Probably the focus wouldn't be on me. Like, that's true.
That's like one time when years ago, a woman sent me a picture of herself, like a sexy picture. She wasn't naked, but like sexy picture. But in the background was her child. She didn't realize in the picture. And she sent it to me, and I was like, she goes, "You got nothing to say?" I didn't say anything. She goes, "What?" And I go, "Can you get out of the way so I can see that baby?" I was trying to be funny. I got blocked. I'm like, "Fuck you!" I was trying to be funny.
No, you're the one who didn't look at the fucking picture, you bitch. You dumb
Then
bitch.
she unblocked me a day later and goes, "Oh shit! I just realized what you're doing.
Yeah,
Sorry."
you
I'm like, "Never
fucking
mind."
dumb bitch.
You have no
yeah,
sense of
look,
humor, but stop being sexy in front of your baby.
Was the baby like cognizant enough to see that the mom was being a hoe?
Oh, I thought you said hot because my thing cut out. I was like, what the fuck? Was the baby hot at least?
No, was it cognizant enough? Like, was it old enough to realize the mom was being a hoe?
We didn't go any farther than that. I didn't meet them.
Okay.
In the picture, the baby looked dumb as shit.
Okay.
He was like, he
So
didn't
it
tell
had
his
Down
mom to
syndrome and
stop.
Was a midget.
He wasn't a kid, but he wasn't a baby, but he wasn't old.
Was it like a toddler? Because toddlers like remember shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This kid's got his life's not good. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have PTSD. He's gonna be fucked for life. He's gonna
Yeah.
hate
He's just
women.
fucked for life would be you in prison. That's what you're doing to everybody. Just mouth fuck them.
If I was a
So Bobby,
woman,
you'd
no,
be nice in
absolutely not.
prison.
No, I'd
Like,
be
if I went to
ruthless.
women's prison, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd get raped. I really don't.
If you were the only girl in a man prison,
No, if I went to women's prison, like if I went to like a women's prison,
yeah,
God
they
forbid,
would.
No, I'd be like locked up in sight.
You're
1 week with
opinionated.
me.
They'll shut
1
up an
week with
opinionated
me.
girl.
1 week with 1 week of me not having the right meds or me being in the prison population, they would put me in psych immediately.
You know how hot that is to some people?
Okay, I didn't know that was hot. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's like my worst nightmare, but okay.
Right. No, to you. But somebody who's in prison and someone's just crazier than you are in prison, you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't think of that scenario.
Right.
really
Remember,
think of
you're
that
all
scenario.
prisoners, not friends.
Yes.
See, I think you two both think prison, everybody's neighbors.
Everyone's
No.
friendly.
No, I'm going to find a gang and slowly work my way up through a series of murders to the point where I am a kingpin in prison and don't want to go back out to society. I am the animal the United States prison system made me.
We were going to cover another subject, but I think it's very odd to get into this subject. I think we're going to have
Oh, no,
Barb on another
100%.
time. Because it'd be very weird to get into that stuff, unless you think we can do it.
No, I don't think it's a good transition.
It's a very weird transition from what we talked about.
I
We're
usually
gonna-
oppose
Yeah.
most transitions.
Yeah, you don't want to fund the transitions with your
Yeah,
taxes?
speaking of being locked up in the psych ward, go on. That's a good transition.
Wait, we have to fund them?
All right, I'll tell you this fun story, Pat.
Wait, is it about what you just said?
Kind of.
Oh, God damn it.
No. I think you'll appreciate the story. So we've talked about Earl David Reed on here before. He's the guy I work with in PA. And when I feature for him, he likes me to keep it a little classier. You know, he doesn't want a lot of, so I was fucking this chick in the ass jokes. He wants it to be a little higher brow. It's fine. It's his show. I do that. I was in Oates, Pennsylvania, and basically performed like the rent was due. I really gave him a good show. Did like 35.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Real quick, and I hate to stop it, but last week we talked about this. Did you find out if it's actually called Olay?
Yes, I did. It's oily.
Oily.
And I ripped into him about that. Don't worry. I
Nice.
did this whole great thing where I was like, you chose oily over Olay. Between that and Reading being pronounced that, apparently they don't do much reading in Reading. I would have gone
Oh,
with the
reading? Holy
Spanish.
shit. I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
Right, it's nuts. And I was like, I would have gone with the Spanish pronunciation of ole, ole, ole over than your oily skin. But then I look at you ugly people and I go, maybe they made the right call.
Yeah, and you're
They like that.
Philadelphia.
But you've heard my therapy joke, Pat, that ends with the point about trans people.
Yes.
It's a higher brow joke. It's well done. So the show ends. I have a great set. I'm in the back hanging before I bring up the headliner with the headliner, Earl. And somebody who enjoyed the show walks by and goes, "Dude, you killed. Really love that trans dick sucking joke you did." And Earl just looked at me and was like, "I'm just going to hope that was classier than it sounded."
Well, that's Earl's fault for not watching your act.
I just went, I don't know which of the two he's talking about, Earl.
Oh, that's fantastic. But whatever. You do it tactfully.
Yeah. The fact that the guy's comment was, I loved that joke,
Yeah.
that one pissed me off. I was fine. I just thought it was
No, of
funny. Like,
course. It was well received and people liked it clearly. So like how you did it works and it's not
yeah,
lowbrow
sometimes.
or whatever the fuck Earl thinks.
Yeah, exactly. Earl's cool. It's all good.
All right, we'll do one more POS. Ready?
Let's do it.
I had a show on Friday. It's a show that I run, and there's a kid in the area, and I say kid, I mean really kid. He's a just turned 15-year-old kid who's been doing comedy for a year who lives in my
Barb's
area.
been trying to fuck him on TikTok.
I'd probably follow him 100%.
I don't know if he's on TikTok. But he's a very funny comic. He writes above his age. He really does have jokes that are written that adults could get. He goes to open mics all the time. His family is very supportive. He's a good kid. So this one show I do once a month, because he lives one town over, I've kind of given him a residency, if you will, because I think it's cool that a kid wants to try to do comedy,
cute.
and I let him
of
do
course.
10 minutes on all the shows. Does his family come buy tickets? Does that help me? Sure. But that's not why I'm doing it.
Oh, it's
I help the
lovely. His
kid out.
family still loves him.
Yeah, his dad's is a musician. I think his mom is some kind of creative as well, so they get it. They don't get involved. They just support him and they do their things. I always make the joke he's not going to do well in comedy because his parents love him too much. But he, I put him on a show, and there was a couple other comics on the show as well. But he was going to go on after me, and the crowds we get to the show are older. I would say most ages are 55 to 65, 70 kind of it skews. It's just where the area it's in. Sometimes it's in 40s or 50s, but they're usually a listening crowd. But they're the kind of crowd that gets uptight and then waits till the headliner and then has a great time. So my job is just to loosen them up, make sure they know how to listen. And I threw what I thought was a no-brainer. Older people who have grandkids are about to watch a teenage boy go up there and do his job and try. So, of course, they're going to be supportive, right? Why wouldn't you even laugh when you shouldn't? Because it's a child. They stone-faced this kid for 10 fucking minutes. Now, Bobby, you'd appreciate this. He did one bit that was 10 minutes long.
Not a single noise? Like, not a single noise?
He got heckled by an older one. I'll get to that in a second. But
oh, God. Was she drunk?
No. The bit is all about how he met, when he was younger, he took a picture and met a guy who was an American gladiator. I forget the guy's name. He says his name. And this guy was found out later to be a pedophile. So he goes into, he says, and on the picture they took, the guy signed it, my best friend. So the whole bit is about he would never turn his back on this guy because he's his best friend. And if your best friend does something bad, you have to stay. So he starts naming every terrible person in history. Now, I have to remember, he's 15. So everyone he names, OJ, Osama bin Laden, D.B. Cooper, Michael, all that stuff happened before he was
Avery
born.
Quinn.
So, God damn it. So he does all this stuff. It's a 10-minute bit about the thing. And how if you're a best friend, you have to look past that. R. Kelly, all these things. And it doesn't stop. And he keeps going. And they're not even appreciating the fact this kid had to do research because he didn't know these things. Yeah, is the joke dark from a child? Yeah, it is. But he keeps going for 10 minutes. At one point, this woman goes, this is terrible. And he goes, lady, don't throw me off. I'm a good friend. You sound like a shitty friend. Then he continues back into his thing.
That's a good response from the 15-year-old. That's
it was
a really
pretty good
response from him. Wow.
His 10 minutes were done, so I went up as a host, and then I shit on them for not supporting a child, which they laughed at. But I went up on them. I did it comically, but whatever. After the show was over, and he had left, whatever, he was fine with it. He's been doing comedy enough that he can, even at 15, can brush it off and go, I know the bit's not bad. I know it wasn't the right audience for a 15-year-old. The nights happen. He won't quit. He didn't get defeated. I've watched way older people get defeated way worse than this kid got. It's also, once again, his parents are supportive. I told him it was great. Whatever. So nobody was mad at him. I threw him some money. We made enough money at the door where he got paid. I think probably the first time he got paid for a show. You know what I mean? So he was happy with that. So afterwards, that woman who heckled came up to me and said, we enjoyed the show, but that boy was terrible, and he's not funny. And she said this to me in front of a couple other people. Now, the family's all gone. It's just like the staff and a couple other people, and that's it.
That's so rude.
And I said, well, comedy is a matter of opinion. I try to take the high road for it. I'm like, you probably didn't find everyone funny on the show. And she's like, well, you were funny, and this other person was funny. And I go, once again, according to you. I'll tell you right now, if that 15-year-old boy was in a comedy club with paid tickets on a night for a weekend, he would have murdered, because that audience would have been so on board for holy shit, what is this? And this kid doing the references and people who wanted comedy. You're not a comedy crowd. You're people that came to a restaurant. She goes, well, I'm telling you he's not funny. I go, well, I'm telling you you're going to one day go, I was at a show that kid was at. This kid's 15 and doing it. It has the right support. One day you're going to be like, oh, I saw his first time. You're going to pretend
100%.
So, and then the owner was kind of like, is there a problem? I'm like, no, I'm not arguing with her. Whatever. She goes, no, it's fine. I just don't know if he should do it. And I go, she goes, well, what does his family think? I go, his family was sitting right in front of you, and they were being supportive. And she goes, oh. I go, yeah, maybe you don't know what you're talking about. And she was cool with that. She goes, I appreciate the explanation. I go, well, do me a favor. Come back sometime. And if he's here, Tell him that. Instead of telling me afterwards he leaves that the kid's no good. Share your opinion with him. He might learn from that. Maybe he can learn. As a comic, feedback's good, but for you not to say it to him, you want me to go to a boy and tell him an old lady said he stinks? I'm not sharing that message. So who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it me for saying anything? I'm running the show, doing whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to be defending whatever, but like it's comedy. She's allowed her opinion. If I say that, I should allow her opinion as well. Is it the boy for doing a 10-minute fucking bit about every pedophile in the world when, okay, it's funny coming from a kid, but if a 35-year-old did that on a show you're on, you're like, dude, what are you doing? A 10-minute pedophile bit? Like, it's going to bury the next person going up no matter what. I had to make sure to do time because it is dark no matter what age you are to go after. Is it the lady for speaking her mind? Or is it his parents for loving him? Who's the piece of shit? Barb, go first.
Oh man! All right, putting me on the spot. So as much as I am supportive of this kid, and I'm not trying to be rude, and I wish this kid the best, and I hope he like goes out and becomes a heavy hitter. It's definitely the kid for being a 15-year-old. Having the balls
just for being 15.
First of all, just for being a 15-year-old, doing a comedy show. At a restaurant. Which I'm gonna get into that in a second. Having the balls, maybe if it was a 5-minute pedophile bit and then you do something in there as well. Although I'm also not the best at stand-up. So again, I'm not one to judge. Also, the people who went to a restaurant and then get offended or don't laugh at a comedy show or think that there's going to have like Dave Chappelle fucking show up to their show.
Well, no, they want Bob Hope. They don't want Dave Chappelle. They want the squeaky clean. That's where they get mad. Yes. They would have hated Dave Chappelle.
No, okay. Well, whatever they're hoping for, it's also all the people going to like a restaurant, and no offense to Connecticut, somewhere in fucking Connecticut, and trying to whatever comic they envision should be up there, and then scrutinizing someone like a 15-year-old by those standards. It's also on them. I guess I guess feedback is good, but I feel like a lot of comedians. Are they going to need an extra therapy session if an old woman would tell them that they're not funny and they're not good and they'd probably become quickly suicidal?
Well, I love you, King Kong Ortiz. Thank you for that comment of love some paddles. Thank you. And Barb, I agree with you. Now, all Connecticut is uptight. I live in a very poor part of Connecticut, so it wasn't. I get what you're saying. Going to anything where you have expectations of one thing in a place, that's like going to a flea market and wondering why it's not like a high-end store. It's dumb. You know where you are. So it's like
something. The older I get, I just have to learn to just lower your expectations of people, of things, of places, anything, and you'll probably be happier in the end. That's also on her, on that fucking dumb bitch, for whatever her expectations were. Yeah. I would say those are and third, yes, the parents are probably way too supportive, but like I'm really jealous of that, and that's the only reason why I'm saying they're pieces of shit.
To be fair, that lady early in the show, the crowd was, Bobby, and you've been there when you're hosting, and you could tell the crowd's tight, so you stay away from material, and you just start talking and saying whatever, and I brought up a reference of Benjamin Button, and this same lady just goes, that was a wonderful movie. And I go, well, I didn't see it. Break it down for me. And then she did like a 3-minute IMDb, like very accurate Benjamin Button, which was wild. And then she goes, and by the way, that wasn't even his real last name. His father owned the Button Company. And then I said, whoa, did he invent the button? And she goes, no, that's dumb. I go, so is you knowing about Benjamin Button. So she already wasn't in a good mood.
That woman is definitely a retard. That woman is definitely.
I don't know. I appreciated the IMDb moment. Bobby, who's the piece of shit?
I don't think it's the woman.
Okay.
While I get that she should have talked to him, I could see her going, hey, clearly this guy mentors him. Maybe he could give him some advice if I give some feedback. She seems kind of like the type of person, given the fact that she knew that much about Benjamin Button, that's a sweet person at heart and thought she was helping.
She was never mean. There was no malice. You are correct.
It is not you for how you responded to the lady either. Sure, I would have said something like, he's 15, he's got a whole life in front of him to work on it. You don't have much time to work on being a shitty person. You know, something along those lines, you know, get a jab in at her. But it's not you for that. It's not the kid. He's 15. He's writing new material. It's a restaurant show. Try it out. You know what I mean? Clearly, he'll learn what audiences appreciate 10-minute getting molested jokes versus audiences that don't. He's got, you know what I mean? He'll get there.
Having a bit that long is insane for a kid that young anyway. So, like, the layers were awesome. So, like, a comic would appreciate it. An IMDb bitch would not.
He is. It's you, though. You are the piece of shit in the story because you said this was the first time he got paid to do comedy, right? You think?
I mean, I'm the only one that booked him, and before his parents said don't throw him any money. This time I just threw him money when they weren't looking.
You should have put your arm around him and been like, I was going to pay you, but this is a business.
But I can't.
So that's why you're the piece of shit.
Oh, that's a really good one. That's really
To be honest, and I shouldn't even say this, I was getting cash at the door, and the show was basically already sold out, and they put another table there. So a couple other tables, you were able to sit more people I wasn't expecting. So I'd already paid the people I promised money. I just threw the kid cash and didn't really pay attention, and I paid him as much as the feature who did like 25 minutes and he did 10. I'm like, oh fuck! If that guy finds out, I'm like, fuck you. But like, I just threw him whatever. I wanted the kid to get like $50. You know what I mean? I felt like whatever. If I was 15, that'd be dope to have that much money. So I was like, here you go, and he was excited, and I wanted him not to worry. I pay everybody before they perform, which is a lot of guys don't do, I guess, and I get that shit from people all the time. But I don't like. So if you're headlining for me, like the guy who was headlining, I sent him the Venmo money at 4:00 for a 7:30 show, and he made a joke, and he was like, "Hey, I could have just bailed, or I could have not given a fuck, or don't." I go, "That's on you. That whatever you wanted, that's on you. I'd rather pay you, and the only worry you have is your act than anything else. I'd rather you never. And when it comes to like the middle acts or a normal young comic, a lot of comics don't have any money. So when they do get paid for something and they're brought to a place, they're not given free food or drink, whatever, and they can't afford anything. So I don't want them to feel weird. So I pay them early so they can buy a drink or eat something or do. I don't know. To me, it's an easier thing to get out of the way if I have the money to do it. So I paid the kid beforehand. Bobby, if I paid him after, I wish I would have thought of that, and that would have been amazing.
Okay, that answered my question. Okay, that was my question.
I feel like you had an even bigger opportunity then to be
Take
like,
it back.
hey, buddy,
Yeah.
I would have you could still send him a Venmo request right now. Just be like, dude, I don't know if you saw the show.
Also, I'm gonna say, when I was 15, $50 was like what I would spend on Molly. So like, also not that much money. just saying.
Okay, well, you're an uppity bitch. But
Did you
most
forget
kids,
that part? Yeah, you forgot that part where his parents love him, Barb.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
By the way,
was
I
going
like
for
that.
home. Okay.
But it wasn't even if you said to me $50 was my allowance, not what I spent on a drug I shouldn't have been doing at 15.
Molly, yeah. Yeah, I fried my brain pretty early.
Yeah, and also knowing that for your age, 15 was 12 years ago, so it wasn't even that long ago. 15 to me was a quarter of my life, but I don't know. I was happy to give him the spot. But I'm also happy he got that experience because I don't think she's the piece of shit. I don't think I'm the piece of shit. Weirdly enough, I do think he's the piece of shit. And it's because, not that he's been doing a lot of shows, but when he does the mics, he does that thing, he always has one long bit. And he's even talked to me about it. I'm not really giving advice to a kid. I'm not going to sit there one-on-one with a child. Like, when I message him, I have to do it through, like, I'm also friends with his dad on social media, and I messaged his dad for.
No, you're not going to invite him into your van and or your car after hours to give him some advice.
No, at summer camp, we had this rule, no one-on-ones. There always had to be two adults.
And Bobby, she doesn't realize one thing. That's dumb. I don't drive. Anyway, so I'd have to hold his hand and walk down the street like a regular pedophile, not those rich ones with your Molly and your 15. It's like I'd have to carry him in a rickshaw. But he has seen enough shows to know that to get yourself caught up. He's done it long enough to know that if you're in a bit you can't get out of, and it's going that way, if it's that long, you're fucked. That's why I always tell people in comedy contests, don't do one long story, because if they don't like it, you can't recover and you're fucked. So don't do a 10-minute fucking bit when you're doing a 10-minute set. If you're doing a half hour, sure, do a 10-minute bit, because you can recover with that. You can frame it with other things. It can be a little riskier. But just to do one bit where you can't get out of it, I get it, he's 15, but if he's a savant, fucking step it up. Actually, it was an 8-minute bit, because he did one bit on the difference between kidnapping and trafficking a child. And as a 15-year-old, that's also a wild thing for some kid to say.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
He does. He says, the whole. I'm not ruining the bit, but the whole idea is that when you're kidnapped, they obviously care about you. When you're trafficked, you're just lumped in with a bunch of other losers, and they don't even know your name. So it's like,
but the counter side there is there's a lot more. You could work your way up through the game further. It's like when you play a creative character, and you can choose to be a starter right away and just an average player, or you could be like undrafted. You've got the most potential in trafficking.
Well, yeah, when you're trafficked, it's also there's like a monetary value on you. You're not just lumped in with a bunch of losers or like merchandise. You're like given a value essentially. Like they assess your value and like you can like when you're kidnapped. Yeah,
and then so like they initially sell you, and that person's probably gonna resell you after they're done with you 7 days later.
You could get like a higher like if you're like
exactly. You've got a 7-day NBA contract.
Like, you're really exactly.
Prove your worth. How tight is that butthole?
Literally double your worth in a week.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, you're Reba and fancy. You're fucking diplomats and yeah.
You're on Epstein's Island. You're on private jets. You're like getting you're getting used in blackmail. It's good.
They're like, oh, this is the Mossad. This is Jeffrey. Yeah. You could call him Jeff.
You're like chilling with your girl Ghislaine. She's taking you shopping.
She's giving you massages. Then you get to hang out with the guy who made Apple.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. God damn it. Kisa. Supposed to say kids. God damn it. What is a Kisa? Keep Kisa away from them too.
Yeah, Bob, you're just not coming out great on this one.
No, you guys are coming out. What? Listen, no one's talking about the real issues, and thank God you two are brave enough to talk about that. Now, my counterpoint to your trafficking talk is that you are talking about the innards of the trafficking. The initial grabber is not doing that. You can't work your way up in front of the grabber isn't the guy who's getting you to work, and he's not putting you on the island. He's not getting you in the beds. He's not doing. The kidnapper is doing soup to nuts. He's doing everything. He's got you. He keeps you. You can learn to become like Stockholm syndrome or something like that, or start to love your kidnapper more in that scenario. But once I traffic you, I'm handing you off to someone else, and then you have to earn from them. So it's the initial impression you make.
I see what you're saying, but you could make the argument that the trafficker is scouting. It's kind of like, again,
it's
the draft.
Or it's like you're scouting models, literally. That's like you're scouting athletes, like college athletes, like football players, basketball players for your school.
Yeah, but the reality is none of that really matters. What matters is what you do in that position. And I don't know if you know this, Pat. I've become a student of Curtis Jackson lately.
50 Cent.
Yes. Yeah, and what I've learned from Mr. Jackson is in any situation, you have to be a hustler. So it's how would the hustler respond? Sure, you get kidnapped. Some people might get Stockholm syndrome. Now they have a loving family. They're happy. What am I going to do? I'm going to start blackmailing them and go, hey, I know I'm not supposed to be here. If you don't start getting me nice things and good drugs, I'm going to snitch. Right? And if I'm trafficked, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hustle my way through till I've got people. I'm going to be the pimp of the trafficking.
You two are so delusional with prison and trafficking. Everything is a fun game where you can earn and work your way up.
Nah, dog. That's the difference between you and me. I'm a born hustler. All right? That's in your DNA.
If you're a hustler, you should have hustled away from the guy who scooped your stupid ass up and trafficked you in the first place.
Or I'm in central bumfuck Pennsylvania, and I go, he's probably going to take me to a big city. I want to be a comic. That's where the comedy scenes are. I'm hustling, dog.
One thing I need to say is it is much easier to emotionally manipulate or emotionally gain advantage with a single kidnapper.
Yeah.
When you are kidnapped, it is easier to form an emotional bond with them, and then you could use that somehow to your advantage as well, because if they're a kidnapper, they're also mentally unwell, clearly, and you can break them if they're trying to break you. But again, I agree with Bobby, because if you're kidnapped, you're probably in some dude's cellar in like a fucking cabin. No one can hear you scream. But if you're like getting trafficked, you're on the move. They're taking you places. You're going to parties. Like there's more opportunity for escape.
You're not going to parties. That's a movie. You're not going to parties. You are the party. You're the piñata. You're not at a party for fun. You're being fucked.
Okay, yes, you're at the party still. You're in public. You're not in some dude's cellar.
You're not in public. You're on an island. They shut down.
Right before Bill Gates sticks his dick in me, I'm like, wait, I got a real great idea. The personal desktop. A computer for everybody. He's like, what? I'm like, I will give you the idea for a personal laptop for everybody if you just...
You could Pretty Woman your way out of it. Maybe some dude will buy you out. Like some nice guy could buy you out. Like if you gain...
They're not going to sell you. If some guy wants you, they know your value's higher. You can't do that. If a guy offers money, you are the go-getter.
Country, and like a Balkan or Eastern European country, you could get sold out of that shit.
Yeah, your head's getting chopped off as soon as you turn 16.
I'm really hoping to Deuce Bigelow my way out of the situation. Like the guy gets me in the room, and I just start singing like, "Oh man, take a look at my life. If I'm a lot like you." He's
Did you
like,
say
"What?"
old
I'm
man
like,
dick?
"Yeah."
Nice. I like that you turned the song around. That's it. That's it.
And he's like, "What?" And you're like, "Dude, I get it, man. You were probably fucked. Now you're fucking me. But what if we broke the circle of violence?" He's like, "What?" And while he's thinking about that, that's when I choke him out with
You'll
my
be
Krav
too
Maga.
weak from all the fuckings.
That's what you think, but
They're
really,
not feeding you good. I know
really
you
what
need
I've been
3
doing, Pat?
squares.
Again.
Everywhere you go, 3 squares.
again, no, you're assuming that, but you're going, "Oh, I'm not getting fed. I'm getting weak." What am I doing? I'm doing fucking push-ups.
You're not working out.
Yeah. I'm
Stop
sitting
it.
there-
You're not going to college.
You're not-
You know how many traffic kids go to Harvard, Pat? You know how many...
You're just seeing the negative side of all these things.
Yeah, they're negative.
Because he's not a hustler, Barb. He doesn't
I'm
get it.
scared of both of you, like a lot.
An opportunity, no.
I never want to hang out with either one of you ever.
You know what me and Curtis would do if we lost everything tomorrow, Pat?
Stop calling him Curtis.
That's what his friends call him. Actually, they call him Boo Boo, but I'm not going to do that because he might shoot me.
Boo boo.
Yeah. He and I would start a nut truck if we lost everything. We'd invest everything we had. You know what we'd do? We get some like different types of spices than the rest
nuts,
of the
like nuts like on the corners,
Yeah.
like in the city, like the.
Oh, I
city.
thought it was a
Exactly.
truck that you fucked the kids in.
Oh, the truck.
Well, you know what? That's our next
Nut truck.
investment. Is a truck to fuck kids in. And we're back in the business, baby. The traffickers have become the trafficked.
All right. On that note, Barb, thank you for being on the show. Please tell people where they can follow you and all that fun stuff.
You can follow me on TikTok at Barb's vs. the World. You can follow me on Instagram, Barb's vs. the World, and my now dead YouTube channel. But if you want to see funny skits and sketches from like 2020, 2021, also you can follow me there. All the same, Barb's vs. the World.
Nice. Bobby?
I will be at Mickey's Black Box November 17th with Earl David Reed. He's taping for Netflix, so that'll be a real fun show. Come on out. I'll probably be at the Dojo or at Yonkers this weekend. And that's about it.
Wednesday, I'm in Georgetown, Connecticut at Milestone Restaurant for on the show there. Thursday, I am doing the midnight to 5:30 a.m. shift on 991 PLR because AJ from Chaz and AJ will be trapped in a box. We're doing live updates for the raise money for 24 hours, so I'll be
You should
there.
sing a rap opera about that. Now I'm just trapped in this box because radio's dying and I'm the last thing going.
Yeah,
think
I think that's a great opportunity right there. Untapped
It
market.
is. I'll Bobby commission it. We'll see if we can get it on the air by Thursday. And Saturday I'll be on 95.9 The Fox from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you can listen to that and check me out there. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. And then the Patreon as well. We appreciate you over there. Barb, thank you so much for coming on the show. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having
We're
me
going to have
on.
you back on to
Appreciate
talk
it.
about the other thing. Bobby, I'm a train now to come to your house. I have the address ready to fucking go. And if you traffic
Yeah,
me,
Bobby
good
does
luck. I'm too
himself.
old to fuck. So, Bobby, go ahead.
And if you can't join them, beat them. Don't be a piece of shit.